2016 was a powerhouse of a year in film. It was packed with top-tier cinema, with titles that will never be forgotten. Films such as La La Land, Moonlight, Arrival, Captain America Civil War, Rogue One, and many more made their debut that year. However, one film in particular I don't feel gets the recognition it deserves, and that film is David Mackenzie's Hell or High Water. Hell or High Water is a modern western about two brothers, played by Chris Pine and Ben Foster, who are on a mission to free themselves from their debt to the bank the only way they know how: robbing other banks.
That's what you doing, right?
Their characters, Toby and Tanner, are risking it all in the name of family, while the county ranger, played by Jeff Bridges, tracks them down. Now, I will acknowledge that enough people saw this movie, as it was given some recognition during award season. It scored 4 Oscar nominations, including Best Picture. However, in many of these Best of the Year discussions, La La Land tops the list and Hell or High Water is nowhere to be seen. Now, I'm not saying that La La Land is a bad film. In fact, it's a great film. But I do think that Hell or High Water deserves to be thrown in the ring when this discussion is made.
Shut up! Your hands on the counter. On the counter!
Yes.
That's it, come on!
Among the 102 minutes are some witty brotherly banter, tense action scenes, and moments that will strike just the right part of the heart to trigger an emotional response. Being under 2 hours is a great film to just throw on. I myself have seen it 4 or 5 times, I believe. I even found it in a $5 Walmart bargain bin and scooped that bad boy up. Honestly, I find myself quoting this movie often because of the clever dialogue.
Have you managed to stay out of prison for a year? It's been difficult.
Chris Pine is especially phenomenal in this film. Now, I'm not going to go arguing that he deserved to be nominated for every Best Actor award, but I do think he is definitely not phoning this one in. He gives such a range of emotions, from his fierce intensity when the bank heists are going on to his sadness in parts that I don't want to spoil. Ben Foster also gives such a great performance. I would argue that he does deserve to be nominated for some sort of Best Supporting Actor award. He gives such an obnoxious and over-the-top performance that somehow still fits in this world and is elevated by his brother's relaxed and laid-back demeanor. The two give off so much chemistry together that I don't think this film would work if other actors had been cast in the lead roles.
Hands off!
And this video would be incomplete if I were to leave out Jeff Bridges. Jeff Bridges plays a county ranger that is the epitome of the word cool. His ramblings and digs at his partner are just too fun to watch, and although I do think that this role was heavily inspired by his past performances, such as True Grit, seeing him sit down and put a cowboy hat on his foot like a badass is almost enough to make me forget that he was the one that nabbed that Best Supporting Actor Oscar nomination instead of Ben Foster.
Jeff Bridges, Hell or High Water.
Almost.
And the Oscar goes to Mahershala Ali.
Of the 5 times or so that I've seen this film, I think about 3 of them at least have been me recommending them to a friend and then watching it with that friend when they took the time to watch it. I just love it so much, and I don't think I could ever just pass on an opportunity to watch it. I showed my parents this movie, that's how much I liked it, and they don't watch a lot of films. Beyond the acting, there are some great subliminal messages about the industrialization of the Wild West, or just in society in general. And I think that it just does a great job in making it subtle, yet also making it obvious enough that we know who the bad guys in this film are. We don't think that these guys who are robbing banks and being dangerous and potentially hurting others are the bad guys, but we sympathize with them because we know what they are going through, and we can sometimes relate to the kind of obstacles that they are going through. At the beginning of the video, I talked about films such as La La Land and Moonlight being on the top of most people's Best of the Year list, and I'm not mad at them. I myself love those films. I just think that Hell or High Water doesn't get the appreciation it deserves, and I guess if there's one takeaway from this video that I want, is that people go check it out. Even as we speak, Hell or High Water is on Netflix USA, so there's really no reason not to watch it. I truly believe it deserves its spot on that year's Oscars Best Picture list. Okay, I might be a little overly enthusiastic about this film. I just love it. You don't have to watch it if you don't want to. All I'm saying is that if you don't, you're missing out on a great scene of Chris Pine punching this douchebag in the face over and over again. And it's awesome.